Hey guys, it's JD from Ponzel World, and today we're unboxing and reviewing this ARC welder made by Cuwiny. Now this is a $110 welder that you guys can find on Amazon. Links will be in the description below if you want to go, of course, pick this thing up. Now again, $110 on Amazon, has one review and it's 5 stars, so we will be seeing if this welder is actually good for the price. Now again, this is a DC inverter arc welder. Now this is also a stick welder. So instead of the normal traditional welding, you will be using the good old stick welding method with this thing because of course it is cheaper. So you can see here on the front it says Cuwiny. Let's go ahead and flip onto the side here. Here we just have quantity and measurements and stuff like that. Nothing important on the side here. On this side though, this is where the shipping label would have been, so I ripped it off. I would prefer you guys not to know where I lived. And up here is just the Amazon label right there if you want to look at that. Same thing on this side and a label on the top, and that's literally it for the box. So nothing much on the box. So let's go and open this thing up. Got my knife here. Let's cut the tape. Box does definitely feel like it has some very big in it, so I'm hoping the welder is maybe as big as this box. Might be wrong though. Maybe it's a small little thing. I'll have to check it out though. And all right, here it is. So on top here, over here, sorry guys, this is again kind of a big box. I'm trying to show it as best I can. Looks like we have some sort of a, what is this? I have no idea what this is. Again, we'll be finding out later on. I have no idea what this is for now. I'll set that off to the side though. Here is your owner's manual. Looks like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what this is. Okay, so this, what that little plastic piece was is actually for a mask. This thing comes with a welding mask or a helmet, whatever you guys want to call it. And this is the little shield here, so then you obviously don't blind yourself. So that's what that is. Very cool. Set off to the side. Here we have your, what is this, 220 to 120 volt outlet right there. Adapter, whatever you want to call it. And then here is the little piece, I believe. You put the welding stick in there, then you weld with this. You can see the end right there. So put that over here. Looks like we have a little strap here, again for the helmet, mask. Looks like we actually have a wire brush. That's cool. And here's the actual welder. And yeah, it's actually way smaller than the box. Okay, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And then here, this is, I assume, your ground post cord, whatever you want to call it. And then here's the actual welder itself. Let's go and take it out here. Try not to hit the tripod. There it all is. A plastic piece here. Set the box off to the side and take the welder out of its wrapping. And here it is. Yeah, very tiny. Wow. It's kind of impressive, to be honest. Little screen there. Knob right here. And then there's your positive and your negative. Yeah, cool. So it looks like, yeah, it's made of metal. Very nice. Carrying handle is, of course, made of plastic. And back here, on and off. So very cool. So what I'm going to go and do now is plug everything in, power this thing up, go in and practice a little bit, and then I'll show you guys how good this thing works. All right, so it's now a few days later, and I went ahead and tried out this welder a handful of times. And these are the welds that I got out of it. Now, keep in mind, I have, not really much of a background in welding. I've only welded in a floorboard to a car before, and that's pretty much it. So these are the welds that I came up with, again, in no way professional at all, but they would hold for welds. You can see there, again, not good, but it did hold these two pieces of metal together, and that's the goal with welding, is to, you know, combine two pieces of metal, or more, of course. But there you go. So if you're really wanting to get into welding, this is not at all a bad welder for the price, it seems like. Of course, the more background you have in welding, the better welds you're gonna get. I have zero background in stick welding at all. I've never tried a stick welder. I've tried a normal welder before, but definitely not a stick welder. But again, the more background you have, the better your welds are going to get. In this case, I don't have much of a background, and the welds were not that good. So if you're, again, wanting to get into welding, or if you're just wanting to weld one thing and not really trying to like thinking on welding ever again, this isn't a bad welder at all. You can see here. Now this little knob on the front, if you have this all the way down, okay, well, you're not going to be able to weld if it's all the way down, but if you have it like up here at the first notch, that's the less welding power you're going to have. So it's going to be harder to actually get like a really good weld. But if you have it up all the way, you have to be careful, because when it's up all the way, it will easily burn a hole in the metal, kind of like I did down here. And right there, I just kept the welding stick there for too long, and it burnt a hole in there. So when it's all the way up, you really have to be careful, and you really have to find the sweet spot, if you want to call it, on the metal. Whoa, just popped. It's still a little bit warm. Oh yeah, you can see it popping right there. That's weird. Anyways, you really have to find the sweet spot for the type of metal that you're welding, so that it doesn't burn a hole in it, but then it makes a good weld. So again, definitely not a bad welder for the price. So what I'm going to go and do now is go and stop this clip, and I will give you guys my final opinions. All right, so overall, what do I think of this welder? Again, I would say for the price, this thing is actually pretty good. If you're wanting to get into welding, this is definitely a good cheap little entry-level welder for you to, you know, practice on, or maybe even weld actual things such as a floorboard in a car or something like that. So again, very nice little welder for the price. If you're wanting to get into welding, this will definitely be a good starter welder. Or if you're actually, you know, wanting to weld stuff daily, I would say this thing would do a pretty good job at it. And I would say it would probably also last a pretty long time. Seems to be made very well, made of metal here. Doesn't seem, you know, flimsy or anything like that. And it probably lasts you, I would say, at least a year probably. But of course, if you want it to last longer, you would get a more expensive welder. But definitely not bad for a little, you know, mini welder that's pretty cheap. Again, you can find this thing on Amazon. Links will be down below. Now, one last thing I'm going to demonstrate is just simply turning this thing on and showing you how it works basically. So right now it's plugged in to the outlet right there. Let's go and flip the switch. There you go, turns on. You can see the fan is spinning back here to, of course, cool it. And it's very quiet. You can see right there, that's all the noise that it makes. And then on the front here, you have your power indicator. And that right there, what is that, overcurrent maybe? That could be what it is in case you're welding for too long. Just here the dial to bring what? I would assume the current up. And you can turn it down. Of course, the lower you have it, the more, I guess, less better of a weld you're gonna get. I would say the slower it's going to be. And then when it's all the way up, that's when you know, start risking burning a hole in it and stuff like that. So there you go, that's how it works. Again, pretty darn quiet, definitely not bad at all. And again, very easy to set up too. Just have to plug these two things in and then you're set. And of course, adjust your little dial here. But again, definitely not a bad welder at all for the price. So if you're wanting to get into welding, want a cheap little stick welder, this thing here definitely seems pretty nice for the price. So yeah, I guess that's really it for this video. Hope everybody enjoyed. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.